Hi, welcome to Cloud9 Yoga. I'm Claudia and it's great to have you with me here today. Today I'm going to invite you to take a practice with me to help our ruminating mind. As you might see, I'm actually sitting on a bolster. We're going to finish the practice today with quiet meditation, focusing mainly on trying the mind to stop just for a little bit. This time of a year, I find we can all be a little bit swept away with worries, with anticipations, with planning. All of it at once comes and goes and leaves us slightly discombobulated, really. So I'm inviting you today to really move the body with me. We're going to give it a little stretch. Of course, the focus of the month is Natarajasana, so we're going to practice some of that. But we're going to open the hips, move through the shoulders a little bit. And then we're going to have a quiet seat. We're going to move into the physical observation of the body and then into our breath and eventually into the more subtle region of our being, the mind. The idea is that we can hopefully stop it from running around like a hamster on the wheel. If you enjoy the practice, as always, I invite you to share it. If you don't enjoy it, as always, I'm going to invite you to share it because you never know, some of your friends might actually like it. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Make sure you have a bolster, cushion, or a chair for your meditation ready. I'll see you on a mat. Join me in a comfortable seat. When you're ready, join me seated in a comfortable place. Allow yourself to take a moment to root down through the sit bones and imagine your spine is like a telescope that just lengthens from the base up towards the ceiling or the sky if you're outside. Take a moment to feel whether you're leaning forward or perhaps backwards, and do your best to align the head of the heart and the heart of the pelvis. Imagine your elbows have weight on them. They go close to your body and down towards the ground. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. If not, just soften the gaze. Whenever my mind is ruminating on the thoughts, even simple tasks like just sitting down here, they kind of turn into those mindless things that I do automatically. So do your best to bring the mind into the place and really sense the body straight away. Let's take 3 breaths in through the nose. Nice and smooth. Make it silent. Doesn't have to be deep. Open your mouth, let it all out. Feel the lower ribs hugging in gently, then pause. Inhale through the nose. Open your mouth and let it all out. Imagine you're letting free some colorful butterflies. It doesn't have to be forceful, you're just letting it fall. Pause. Inhale silently through your nose. Feel the back of the body filling in with air as well. Open the mouth, let it all out. If your eyes are closed, open them softly. And let's begin to move our body. We're going to start with stretching out. So lift your arms up and over the head, interlace your palms, flip the palms up towards the ceiling. Take a moment here whether you want to feel like a seaweed in the sea, or if you want to go a bit gentler and quieter, just feel the body lengthening. Perhaps twist a little bit to one side and the other. It doesn't have to be a huge movement. I just want you to kind of knock some of that rust off the joints of the body. Then carve a line with your nose, look up, and as you exhale, cactus the arms, pinkies forward, thumbs back. Bring the elbows in line with your shoulders, squeeze them slightly further back, look up, inhale. Exhale, squeeze the elbows and the wrists towards one another. Let them touch, inhale, lift them slightly higher. Exhale, surrender in here, and on your next inhale, just separate your wrists, keep the elbows still glued together. And then exhale, let it melt down to the ground. Left hand stays where it is, right arm sweeps up and over. Just a gentle stretch. Let's bring that right hand to the left ear or the back of the head if you prefer. Press the head slightly into the hand and lean a little bit deeper in. Perhaps your elbow will rest on the ground. If it doesn't happen, don't stress yourself over it. Take a moment in here, breathing into the right side of the ribs. Come back to center. Let's try this the opposite direction. Right hand is on the ground, left hand reaches up and over. Bring the left hand either towards your right ear or behind your head, pressing the head slightly into the hand and the hand resists. Wherever you are today, take a moment to notice what's appearing. And if the mind is really stubborn and wanders straight to the place that's occupying it right now, bring it into the physical body. Come back to center. Let's try this one more time. Inhale, reach up, interlace, flip the palms up, look up, lengthen, twist to the right. Come back to center. Twist to the left. Come back to center. Cactus the arms. Take a moment in here, feel the chest with air. Exhale, squeeze the elbows and the wrists together. Lift the palms slightly higher, keep the elbows away from the face, separate your wrists. Exhale, melt it down. Side body stretch to the left. Tick-toe yourself to side body stretch to the right. Come back to center. Fantastic. Bring your hands behind you. Interlace this time. Let's bring the right thumb on top. Bring the knuckles towards the back of the room where the floor meets the wall. And then pull the knuckles slightly higher. Keep the elbows nice and straight. Try not to let your chest come forward. So keep those lower ribs hugging in. Lifting the elbows slightly higher. Nice and easy. Let that go without pinging. Now my feet are in line, so the left heel is in front of the right. I'd like you to just walk forward. If you are on your shins, that's perfectly fine. You can just come into a forward fold from here, which will probably look more like child's pose. Take a breath in. Press the palms into the floor. Exhale, surrender the heart towards the ground. Come back to seated. Swap the crossing of your legs. And then nice and easy, bring the hands one more time behind you. This time the left thumb on top. It will feel awkward. Bring the elbows to each other and then lift the palms up and away from the floor. Squeezing up, maybe look up, but then remind yourself of hugging those lower ribs in. Relax your legs without pinging, let that go. Come into a forward fold, stretching into the right hip this time. Or coming back to that child's pose just for a little bit of grounding. Come back to center and let's come into all fours. And as you go into all fours, take a moment to really stack the knees underneath your hips, your wrists underneath your shoulders. Take a moment to keep it shoulder distance apart and a hip distance apart. Let your legs be nice, your feet be nice and central. Hugging through the lower ribs. We tend to just let the belly collapse here. So see if you can neutralize yourself here, taking the tailbone to the back of the room, hugging the lower ribs. Push the floor away so we're not collapsing in the shoulders, but we're really engaged here. Staying present with the mind, nice and soft. Let's tuck the right toes under, lengthen the right knee out. Few times on your own, just seesaw yourself back and forth. I'm going to move a little bit further forward, but you stay where you are. Then when you're ready, let's lift that right foot off of the mat. Give it a little pull up from that inner right thigh. Try not to open the hip to the right. Keep it grounding towards the floor. Just lift from that right inner thigh. Hugging through the ribs. Lift the left arm and reach forward. Take a breath in here as you exhale. Bring the knee to elbow underneath you. Keep your gaze to the front of the mat. Come back, inhale. Let's take it one more time. Exhale, squeeze underneath, really pull it towards your chest. Bring it closer, bring that heel closer, feel the core engaging. Inhale, lengthen. This time, bend the right knee with the left hand, grab hold of the right foot, kick into the hand. Tiger pose. Take one more breath in. Maybe look forward. Push with the right hand, don't collapse in the right shoulder. Let that go. Fantastic. Downward facing dog between the sides. Pedal the feet. Wag your tail. Notice what the mind is doing. Bring it to the same page as the breath, same page as the body. Let's walk the feet a little closer, about a footprint forward. And let's bring the right hand to the left ankle. Look under the left shoulder, pull yourself slightly closer. Feel free to straighten the right knee, soften the left knee if that feels better. Come back to center, let's try it on the other side. Left hand, right knee, look under the right shoulder. Feel free to soften the right knee, straighten the left, or keep both straight. Come back to center and release your knees down to all fours. Take a moment to realign, reposition, straighten the left knee, keep the toes on the ground. This time flip your wrists, flip your palms so the fingers go towards the back of the room, towards your toes. And from here, shimmy gently. Neutralize your all fours. And let's lift that left foot off of the mat. Again, try not to turn that left hip. It will give you a little bit more range of motion, or it will feel like it does. But it's targeting different groups of muscle that I'm trying to go for today. So lift from that inner thigh, drop that outer hip down, hugging through the ribs. Try not to collapse in your shoulders. Keep everything as engaged as you can, as pulled together as you can. Let's lift the right arm, reach forward. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach it forward. One more time, knee to elbow. Squeeze it really close, perhaps around a little bit. Push with that left hand. Inhale, reach. Bend that left knee, grab hold of the left foot with the right hand. Kick, open the heart. Perhaps look forward. Try not to collapse in the left shoulder, but find that integrity to push. Let that go. Downward facing dog. Fantastic. Let's lift the right leg up. Bring yourself to a pigeon for a very brief moment. Right knee is outside the right hip, towards the right wrist. Walk the left leg slightly further back. As it's our first pigeon of the practice, come for an active one. So pull the body slightly further back and find that integrity in your legs to pull towards one another. As they pull towards one another, feel how those muscles are working in the lengthened position. Take one more breath. As you exhale, lower to your forearms and take a moment here, just taking 2 to 3 breaths. Not much, just letting the body surrender a little bit. We're keeping it busy physically today, just so the mind can come to the same page as the body, or the body to the mind. Kind of works for me. I hope it worked for you. Come back to your palms. Send it back. One-legged dog, right leg in the sky. Nice. Now I'd like you to gently either hop, or you can release the right foot and bring the left foot about a footprint forward. Think warrior one. So take the left toes to the left heel to the right. Bend the right knee, open the hip, look under the right shoulder. Press the floor of the right hand, maybe, just maybe with the left hand, grab hold of the right foot. Something that we've already done in all fours, just upping the level. Take a moment here, kick it in. Let that go. Release the right foot. Step the left foot back where it normally goes for a down dog. And let's try this on the other side. Left knee comes in for pigeon. Just outside the left hip. Take a moment to walk that right knee further back. Walk the hands in line with the hips. Take a moment to press the legs, maybe even lift the hands off of the floor. Feel the legs zipping together. Hugging through those lower ribs. And then gently walk yourself to your forearms, or maybe even flatter if that's what you prefer today. And let's take 2 to 3 breaths. Do your best to stay present with the practice. Noticing perhaps that the mind slowly, no matter how much it is stuck on the ruminating thoughts, it is slowly letting go, surrendering to right here, right now. Gently come back to palms. Let's come in for one-legged dog, left leg in the sky. And then either step, walk, or hop that right foot a footprint forward. Warrior one alignment, toes to the right. Bend the left knee, open the left hip. Nice. Option to stay here, looking under the left shoulder. Or of course you have that option of beginning to reach with the right hand for the left foot. And trust me, it is somewhere there. I know it might take you a while to find it, especially the first few times you do this. Just take a moment. Bring your brain to the balancing aspect of this pose. Let that go. One-legged dog. Step it back where it normally goes to a downward facing dog. Shift forward to plank. Gotta love a plank, right? Especially on a busy mind day. Push the floor and then gently flip yourself to the tops of the feet. Lower the knees to hover, the hips to hover. Roll the shoulders up and away. I like to soften my elbows, pulling the hands back, coming in for upward facing dog. Energize the heels towards one another. And then gently lower the legs, lower the hips, soften the elbows even more, coming in for high cobra. Let that go. And I've got a bolster here ready for meditation, so let me just push it. And then bring your hands just off of the mat. Elbows go up. Inhale, roll yourself up. Wide armed cobra. Exhale, left shoulder comes down. Look under the right. Let the left shoulder touch the floor. Come back up. Inhale. Right shoulder comes down. Look under the left. Come back up. And then exhale, soften it all the way down to the ground. Bring yourself to your Sphinx. Forearms underneath your shoulders. Interlace your hands. Broaden the collarbones. Take a breath here. Exhale, tuck your toes under, forearm plank. Try not to let the hips go higher than the shoulders. So do your best to really sense it. That's the other thing that mind can really do for you if you just employ it to do so. Take one more breath in your forearm plank. Let's drop the heels to the right. Exhale. Stay here for in-breath. Exhale, open your mouth. Sidle out, find your right obliques. Come back to center. Drop your heels to the left. If it's too much, take a break. Take a moment in here, push through both forearms. And then exhale, open your mouth. Tailbone is long and neutral. One more on this side, why not? It's the left oblique that I'm after. Come back to center. Release the hips down. Take a breath in your Sphinx. Exhale, downward facing dog. Fantastic. Let's walk the hands towards the feet. Lovely. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften and bow. Let's try that 2 more times, just moving with the breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, soften and bow. Last one. Inhale, broaden the collarbones. Lengthen the spine. Soften, forward fold. Nice. Inhale, come all the way up. Engage your core as you rise up. Reach up, hands to prayer. Exhale. Take a moment here. And let's just ground through our feet. Fantastic. Now close your eyes and let's take a little baby steps forward. So see if you can bring the right foot in front of the left. They don't have to touch, but I just want you to see if you can, gently with your eyes closed perhaps, or just have a little peek if it gets challenging. Left foot in front of the right, right foot in front of the left. All right. When you know you're at the front of the mat, stay there, pause there, wait for me, or allow me to wait for you. All right, this is the end of the mat for me. I'll stay here. Open your eyes. Notice if you're still at the center, if you need to reposition yourself. And then inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step the left foot back. Lower the left knee. Inhale, take Anjaneyasana, asana, reach your arms up. See if you can bring a Charlie's Angels gun. And take a breath in here. And as you exhale, open your arms, tuck your toes under if they're not already tucked in. Take the tailbone to the front of the mat and just hover the left knee above the mat. Take a breath in here. Fantastic. As you exhale, swish your arms towards the back of the mat. Lift that left knee high. Pull the belly away from the right thigh. Power lunge. Lean further forward. And then come in for warrior three. Whether you need to take a few steps or just slide that left foot on the mat. Come in for warrior three. One more time, lift from that left inner thigh. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, come in for one-legged Tadasana. Bring that left knee in front of you. Arms reach to the sky. Soften the right knee, come in for eagle. Left leg on top of the right. Left arm underneath the right. Lift your elbows up, press the forearms towards one another. Take a breath here. Tailbone neutralizes towards the floor. Lower ribs hug in. Open your arms. Unravel your legs. Don't let the left foot touch the ground. Grab hold of the inner side of that left foot. And come into a dancer pose from eagle. I'm going to have my right hand in Abhaya Mudra today, still practicing this protection from ignorance and fear. Kick the knee, broaden the collarbones, look forward, and then gently let that go. Come in for half moon. Lower the right hand, open the left toes to the left this time. Broaden the collarbones. Take a moment in here. And as you exhale, step it back. Warrior two. Fantastic. Take a moment in here. Feel as if you're lifting from that right hip flexor up towards the sky. Squeeze the left glute. Press the knife edge of the left foot down. Windmill the arms. Step it back. Downward facing dog first. Shift forward to plank. Rope yourself down to the tops of the feet. And then lower down for upward facing dog. Broaden the collarbones, pull the shoulder blades back, heels towards one another. High cobra, exhale, lower down. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Walk your hands towards your feet. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, soften and bow. Inhale all the way up. Reach through the fingertips. Tailbone long, heels heavy. Hands to prayer, exhale. One more time, you can close your eyes. You can have them softly gazing into space. Let's see if we can walk, starting with the left foot this time. Left heel to the right toes. Maybe close your eyes, maybe don't. All right, heel to the left toes. They don't have to touch really, just go slowly. Mindfully notice how hard it is to stand on your own 2 feet. Stay focused. Feel the earth underneath you. Feel the feet doing this micro balance. All right, that's the end of the mat for me. I'm gonna step in the center of the mat. I'll open my eyes and look down. It's not bad. All right, let's try this in the reverse. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Right foot step back. Right knee lowers down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. I like to interlace my fingers here, just keeping the index finger pointing up and back, opening my heart. Tailbone is neutral to the front of the mat. Hard lifts. Now from here, let's lift the back knee about an inch over the ground. It's hard to hold it here. Don't go higher. And then come for power lunge. Hands sweep forward, down and back as you lengthen that back leg. The right inner thigh goes right towards the sky. Now I'm going to step the left foot a little bit closer so I have space. You don't have to do that. Let's lift off. Warrior three. Take a breath in here. From here, we're going to go for one-legged Tadasana. Right knee comes in front of you. Hands go up to the sky. See if you can do this in one motion. And eagle pose. Right leg over the left. Soften that left knee. Right arm under the left. Lift your elbows up. Press them to one another. Wonderful. Nice. From here we're going to go for dancer pose. Unravel your arms with that right hand. Grab hold of the big toe side of the right foot. Left hand can go forward. Straight elbow or bent palm faces down or up. Perhaps even taking your own mudra. Kick the right foot into the right hand. Broaden the collarbones to the front of the mat. Your left toes will want to come inwards. It's perfectly normal. Just do your best to feel grounded. One more deep breath. Let go of that right foot, transition to half moon. Mindfully, slowly, taking those right toes to the right, stacking the right hip over the left. One more deep breath in here and transition to warrior two. Step that right foot back. Imagine you're lifting from that left hip flexor. So we're moving away from that thigh here. We're letting that hip flexor shine to the sky. Press through the knife edge off that right foot. One more breath. Windmill the arms. Step it back. Downward facing dog first. Nice. Now walk your feet to the center of the mat. Nice little short dog. Soften your knees, walk your hands towards your feet. Inhale, chair pose. Nice and easy. I want you to stand up in Tadasana. We're going to do something that's called sissy squat, just so we can bring ourselves to your knees. But what I want you to do is take it really slow and mindful. So we're going to take the tailbone towards the back of the knee, back of the heels. I want you to soften those knees already slightly. Shift away to the heels. Take your hands behind you. Lift the heart up towards the ceiling. Now we're going to lower the knees first. So see if you can lift the heels off of the mat. Slow as you can. Soften the tailbone. Shine the hip flexors up towards the ceiling. And gently see if you can lower down towards your heels with control. Lowering your knees down. Coming in for kneeling. Nice. When you get there, bring your hands to your lower back. Fingertips can point up or down. I don't mind. Squeeze your glutes. Shine the hip flexors forward. Heels energized towards one another. Take a camel pose. Open the heart to the possibilities that come your way. Even if right now they might feel far and few in between. Elbows energized towards one another. Make sure you can breathe and speak here. Don't go too deep and then struggle here. Go easy on yourself. Take a breath. Full out. And then squeezing the glutes. Come back up. Sit down on your heels. Let your hands rest on your thighs. And let's take a moment closing your eyes perhaps. Feeling the breath. Feeling the echo of the practice around the body. We're going to slowly move into the meditation part of our practice for today. I'm going to reach out for the meditation cushion, or the bolster actually, that I have just handy here. If you want to take a seat on the chair, like I said earlier, feel free to do that. And if you feel that you want to sit on the edge of the bed or perhaps even lay down, just make sure you don't fall asleep or get swept away with what's coming and what's happening in your brain, in your mind. Okay. When you're ready, make yourself comfortable for your final part of the practice. Let your sit bones be heavy, whether you are sitting down or lying down. Let yourself feel the sit bones grounding through the floor. And then I'm going to lift my palms up towards the sky to begin with. Relaxing the elbows, broadening the collarbones, finding a little bit of openness in the body, especially after that camel and Anattarajasana, the dancer pose. And then I'm going to flip my right palm down for grounding and keep my left palm as it is. If you feel you need to ground more, feel free to flip both palms down. We're going to begin today's practice by tuning into our body. What I'd like you to do is soften your eyes. Either close them to really go inwards, or perhaps look into some space right in front of you on the floor. Whenever my mind is stuck, ruminating or imagining things or trying to predict things, I find it difficult to stop that loop. I tend to turn into an active asana practice. Just move with the breath, one breath at a time. The mind tends to calm down. Sometimes, like lately, it's been a little stubborn. And I find actually taking the time to quiet it down, take the time to sit quietly, helps me. So allow me to take you through the progression that I tend to go through when my mind is stubborn. I want you to tune into the parts of the body that are in contact with the earth. If you are seated like me, that might be the parts of your feet, perhaps the top of the foot, the knife edge of the foot, toes. Then tune into the lower part of the leg. Tune into the sit bones. Let yourself just feel the sensations present in that part of your body. Notice if there is any tension at your knee joint, your ankle joint, perhaps your toes. Are they curling up? Notice if they are, and see if you can soften it. The ruminating mind has the ability to impact on our physical body. So see if you can, perhaps, mindfully release the tension. And then as you move slightly upwards, notice if your belly feels tense or perhaps nice and soft. Is there any concave in the lower back? Can you neutralize that? Can you acquire a little bit more length through the spine, lifting the crown of the head slightly higher, becoming a little bit taller? Notice if there's any tension in your fingers, in your wrists, your arms, your shoulders. And then turn the awareness of the mind into your upper body and face. Tuning into the neck muscles. Notice if you're clenching the jaw. Perhaps your forehead is all crinkled. Do your best to let that go. Imagine your ear canals just becoming a little longer, wider, letting more sounds in. And then we're going to tune into something more subtle. I want you to tune into your breath. Notice the quality of it. Is it shallow? Is it full? Is it even on the inhale and exhale in length? And see if you can perhaps make the exhales a little bit longer than the inhales. Is it even on the inhale and the exhale in sensations and physical feeling? Does it feel evenly full on the in and out? Only a full exhale will set us up for a full inhale, so don't make it too short. And then notice lastly if you can perhaps smooth some of those physical sensations of your breath. Let's take a few more moments here, just quietly observing the breath. Trying to make the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. And lastly, I'm going to invite you to observe your mind. And the chances are the moment I ask you to do that, you will actually find yourself back in that hamster wheel that you've been trying to leave throughout the duration of this practice. And if that happens, I'll encourage you to let that go. Acknowledge the thought, like you would acknowledge someone that you're passing by on the street. You'd perhaps have a recognition of who they are. You might see them frequently, either walking their dog on the other side of the road or waiting for the bus on the bus stop. Perhaps someone from work. You just acknowledge them, you know they're there, but you're not doing anything about this. You're letting them go, just like you're letting those thoughts go. Whenever you find yourself entertaining the idea of the background story, the cognitive story or behavior that your brain, your mind is entertaining right now, just bring yourself back to the present moment. And even if it helps you, just think to yourself, let that go, not now. Let that go, not now. I am still here with you. I'm going to take approximately 2 minutes quietly sitting with the content of our background story, trying to minimize its impact on our mind, on our consciousness, trying to maximize the time of peace in our mind. And if it's not helping you, just to think to yourself, let that go, not now. Come back to any of those aspects that we've explored so far. Let go of the physical tension in your body. Neutralize your breath and sensations and elongate your exhale. Allow yourself to take a deep breath in through the nose. Full breath out through your mouth. Bring your hands to prayer, bow your head down. Put your eyes open. Thank you so much for being here today with me. Have a fantastic rest of the day or evening. Namaste.